It's 10 degrees in Oxford, 7 in Ballycastle, 24 in Jacksonville. Actually, that's where we've just been, kind of, sort of, but no, but not really. Watching the press conference with the brand new Jacksonville Jaguars general manager online, Kee. Welcome to Duval, James Gladstone. Feel like we need a round of applause, but it's not quite the same when it's just me and you, is it?
No, it doesn't sound the same, does it?
It just sounds pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Woo. Anyway, we'll get into the appointment of the new general manager in just a moment. This is TealTalk, by the way, the official Jacksonville Jaguars UK and Ireland podcast, presented by Gallagher. I'm Jay Lawrence. Still no relation. He's Kee Ramsuran. Kee, this is a busy show. For an off-season show, this is an unbelievably busy show.
This is bumper, man. This is one of our biggest ones.
It is, and I feel like I need to try and do this in one breath. No, I won't.
Oh,
no, I want to go badly.
Take a big one.
Oh, I can try. Okay. We have 4 guests coming up. Jaguars Vice President of UK Operations Maria Gigante tells us about the Jaguars Foundation launch in Wembley last week. Louis Rees-Zammit talks about re-signing with the Jags. Reece Parkinson of Jaguars Weekly UK on Sky Sports joins us.
Breathe, Jay,
I'm going to have to take another breath. Yeah, I know. I got through most of it. And we have... Can we get a drum roll? I think we can get a little bit of a drum roll. Producer Simon can put in a drum roll afterwards, right? Because we announce the newly crowned Jacksonville Jaguars International Fan of the Year. We actually break the news to him as well, which is, just about me for a second. What an honour. And I'm sure the same with you, Kee.
How have you just said?
What an honour.
And what a lovely moment for him, but more about me.
What an honour. What an honour it is. But yeah, incredible to tell this person that they are going to be going to the 2025 NFL
100%.
draft as a representative of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Incredible. We're going to get to that person. I'm not going to say their name, just in case you know them.
You're a master of suspense, Jay Lawrence.
Because if you're listening right now, there's a chance you might know him, and then you're going to be really happy and excited. If you think it's you, chances are it's not, because we've already done the conversation. So you'd be aware if you were part of the conversation. First, though, Kee, we've just been watching Coach Cohen speak to the media and the first press conference of the new GM, James Gladstone, formerly of the Rams. According to Shad Khan, exceptional in every regard. Who are we to disagree? First opinions, please, Kee.
So, Jay, my thoughts are twofold, right? Firstly, I thought James Gladstone was very considerate in his answers. I liked that he paused and was very thoughtful. That pleased me greatly because it's the opposite of me. Secondly, I think it's going to be really interesting based on how the Rams have been drafting, with him being in that room, to see what we do in the draft. So I'm going to withhold any opinions or any thoughts on it until we've drafted, because I think over the last few years we've had a history of drafting okay in the first round, maybe okay in the second round, but third round onwards maybe we haven't been as strong. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see what we can do in the later rounds of the draft this year. So let's see how it pans out, man.
Yeah, and it has to be said as well, you're talking about the draft, that the Jags have so many draft picks over the next 2 years specifically. I mean, James Gladstone, actually, he mentioned that when asked about it, and that's something that previously when he was with the Rams, it was a really similar situation. And in his words, he said that he's in a unique position to be able to, I'm paraphrasing now, get the most out of the next 2 drafts. Because, as I say, the Rams are in a similar situation. It also has to be said as well, 34 years old, general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
There's a lot of young blood just come into the staff on the Jags, isn't there?
100%. I mean, Liam Cohen himself is 39 as well, which is young. I mean, we are seeing...
The coordinator is 14 years old.
29.
Yeah.
I think he's 29 years old, is Grant Udinski. Anthony Campanelli is, by the way, the defensive coordinator that's been... it's been put into that position over the last few weeks since our last episode as well. So a lot to be excited about. I know this might sound not specifically team related. However, one of the first things that the new GM did when he was when he was, being asked questions, actually before he was asked questions, he started getting emotional. He started getting emotional when he was talking about particularly his wife and his kids.
Yeah.
And, he was saying how he was happy and wanted to be a high school teacher and a high school football coach. And obviously his life has changed over the last few years quite a lot. And he's, been quite emotional about the whole thing. And I don't know, when you see something, when you see that something means so much to somebody, you can't help but feel, on their side.
Do you know what, Jay? It's the same thing that I feel about Tony Baselli, who also now has a new position. I like people that wear their heart on their sleeve, which Tony does as well. And with this first press conference, and you see him getting emotional, I like human beings, man. I like to see that. I don't want a ridiculously media-trained person giving all the right answers and stuff. I like to see that. It's exciting. Yeah. How it's all going to work out, we don't know, do we? We'll have to wait and see. But immediately as a person, I was like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and also I think it's worth mentioning the draft in respect, because that's obviously what so many Jags fans have got in their mind right now, don't they? We've got free agency over the next few weeks, and then it's the draft, and that's something that's so massive when it comes to being a general manager. That's a lot of your reputation is laid out on what happens over the next couple months. When asked about what sort of player he looks for, he's looking for the intangibles, apparently. He says the intangibles that help the whole ecosystem that is the team, that is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's like saying good ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it is to an extent.
Good ones.
But I suppose it's not so much about traits then, is it? He's not necessarily going to go for the biggest guy or the fastest guy. He's looking for the things that you can't maybe put numbers on. Does that make sense? So it's quite interesting how this is all going to work,
don't they? They talk about, like, there's a lot of guys that can achieve certain numbers at the combine, right? But a lot of the time, it's not necessarily just about those numbers. It's about intangibles, like, do they get on? How will they be in the locker room? Will
100%.
they make them laugh in the interview? Do they seem like a decent person? And so on and so forth. So maybe that's what he's referring to with
Well, he said that as well. He said what they're like off the field as well, and that's something that they look at. I mean, that's what every coach looks at, but it depends on how much stock you put into it, I suppose. Regardless, it's going to be a big few weeks anyway for the Jacksonville Jags. It's going to be a big few weeks for every single NFL team, obviously, but the Jags are in this position where it's all fresh, man. It's all fresh.
Yeah, and I think, do you know what? There's a lot of negative Nancy's out there at the minute, and I'm not about that at all. I think, there's fair enough. There's some inexperience there, but there's also a lot of people who have come in very excited to prove themselves is another way of looking at it. And I think this is really exciting. I'm looking forward to where we go, man. It's nice.
Yeah. And also, lastly, we asked, with as much as you say inexperience, as much as you say, as we're talking about the fact that they're young, it's not that they don't deserve to be in this position.
Of course not. They wouldn't have the job if
I've heard very good things about what James Gladstone did for the Rams, specifically when it comes to drafting as well. And with the Jags draft capital over the next couple of years, exciting.
Yeah, there's no point being negative before they've had the chance to do anything. That's just silly, man. Let's be excited and let's see what happens. That's what I say.
Also, congratulations to Eric Armstead over the last few weeks. I mean, we spoke about, we had him on the podcast, didn't we, a few weeks ago, because he was a Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominee. Well, actually, he's not a nominee anymore.
He's not a nominee. Tell us what happened, Jay.
He won it. Congratulations to Eric Armstead for winning.
Witness it?
I wasn't actually at the honours. I wasn't there to be able to witness it. But I was in the same city at the time. So congratulations to Eric. But I was in New Orleans at the time, which was for the Super Bowl.
You got food poisoning, Jay.
No, it was genuine food poisoning. I'm not having this. People being like, "Oh, you had food poisoning, did you? Did you go out for a drink or two?" No, it was food poisoning. I was meant to be on one of the so they had like a mini Mardi Gras the day before the Super Bowl,
right?
With a parade and people throwing off of the floats and all of that. I was meant to be on the float, Key. I was meant to be on the float.
Oh,
with
Jay,
the mask.
You need to make better life decisions, then, don't you?
What? Getting food poisoning. I'm not having any of this, Kee.
No,
I'm not having any of this.
That's bad luck, mate.
I know.
I'm still
slightly gutted. But that said, the day after I went to my first Super Bowl, Kee. So it was
amazing. Tell us
amazing.
a little bit about it, because most of us will never get to go.
It was. It was just exactly what you think it was going to be. To be honest, obviously the game itself was a little bit one-sided. So
sure.
The atmosphere in that way. I mean, Chiefs fans in the second half were pretty quiet. I think it's fair to say. But it's just a whole experience, and the city was just overtaken by everything Super Bowl related for the week before. There was some. I'll be honest, and I can say this to you. I mean, we're all friends. There are some tears in my eyes on the lead up, because I was like, it's
a special city to you as well, isn't it?
Special city to me. I used to live in New Orleans, so it was amazing to be there, and the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar, was unbelievable. So I don't really know what to say, except that it's just weird when I think back to it and think that I think that it was just incredible. So happy to have gone. Not happy to have eaten something dodgy, but apart from that, it was amazing.
Rough with the smooth, dude. I'm really chuffed for you, man. It sounds great.
Yeah, there was actually. Do you know what was really funny? Actually, I don't know if you know how like the week before works, but it's like a whole media center, or like Radio Row, where there's lots of like radio stations, lots of radio stations and media organizations that are sort of like just sort of there just to speak to NFL players, former NFL players, celebrities and all that. That's where I spoke to Tony Pacelli on that, that special podcast. If you haven't listened to it, by the way, speaking about his new role and everything, you can listen to that now. I do think it's quite funny though, in the fact that you just turn around the corner and then there's just, massive NFL player, or like, it's just like you turn the corner, it's like, that's Myles Garrett next to me, or Aiden Hutchinson next to me. Drew Brees was next to me. Wow. It's just like strange when you watch the NFL, especially in this country, Kee, when you're so, as much as you want to be as ingrained as you can be when it comes to the NFL, you are still inherently in a different country. So you aren't going to just randomly bump into somebody in the middle of the street. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then when you're just walking about literally rubbing shoulders, like,
Jay, you say rubbing shoulders, you're 5'8".
I was at a bar one night and what's his name? He's completely gone from my head. 49ers tight end. Come on. George Kittle. Yeah. George Kittle. He just walks next to me. No. He is not 5'8". He is not 5'8". So yeah, it was an incredible time. It was an incredible time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So much to come on the show though, Kee.
Yeah.
Louis Rees-Zammit. Still
exciting.
To come.
Yeah.
The former Welsh Rugby player, of course, a man who has just signed a new deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, big news.
Maria Gigante as well, the Jaguars Vice President of UK Operations. And you don't want to miss what's to come up regarding the Jags International Fan of the Year. We're joined by Reece Parkinson as well.
Oh, the one and only.
Okay, joining us next on TealTalk. Well, it's the face of Jacksonville Jaguars here in the UK. You might have seen him on Jaguars Weekly UK. Reece Parkinson, how are you, mate? How's your off-season?
Yeah, super good. Thanks for having me back on the podcast.
This podcast just became infinitely better looking, Reece.
Wow. That's awkward.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
And the worst thing you've ever said to me. How's your off-season? What have you been up to?
I've been trying to find ways that we can draft Travis Hunter, and I have a system.
Okay, go on then. Let's see.
I think the Titans trade away their pick.
Okay.
And that's, if they trade away their pick, that's how we land Travis Hunter. Because the other team's going to go for QBs. That's where we get Travis Hunter. So I think it's possible. And I've been calculating different ways, and that's my go-to. On draft night, if we hear and the Titans have traded away their pick, we've got TH.
That's what you're saying. What's your likelihood? Have you got a percentage likelihood for this?
18.7% chance.
Wow. That's some good maths. Do you know what? I don't think Daniel Jeremiah needs to think. Do you know what? I need to look over my shoulder for a new job. I think the draft Knicks might be all right. They might be all right.
When's your interview for GM, Reece?
Very good. Very
That's fair. That is fair. Reece, thank you so much for joining us. And we're actually here to talk about the big question. That's why, Reece, it's good to get you on because we're joined by Jags fan here in the UK, Jamie Phillips. Jamie, what is the big question?
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all well. A bit of a fun one this time, being the off season. With the stadium upgrades all happening starting from now over the next few seasons. Just a little bit of fun. What would you like to see inside the stadium? A bit of fun, bit of upgrade. So at the moment we have the pool at the moment in Jacksonville. At Tottenham Stadium we have the go-kart track underneath the stadium. Also you have the brewery inside as well. So some cool fun element. What would you like to see if you were a developer and you was developing this stadium? What would you have put into this stadium?
Excellent.
And it needs to be something fun, doesn't it? It needs to be something slightly different. And that's why I'm going straight to Kee.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. So instant thoughts. I would have a retractable ball pit, end zone to end zone, that comes out in half time, and every fan's seat is equipped with a spring-loaded ejector button that can launch you from your seat straight into the ball pit. That's my answer.
Health and safety yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Health and safety having a field day on that one. This ball pit as well.
Yeah,
it'll be really fun for the first game. And are they refreshing it? Are they refreshing all the balls every single time?
No, all of the balls are provided by soft plays from around the country.
Right, fantastic.
Yep. No, that's a joke answer. My serious answer, obviously, yeah, that's a joke. Yeah, I'm not. My serious answer would be 80-foot statues of Reece Parkinson and JP Shadrick erected outside the stadium.
Reece, are you on board with this?
Am I on board?
That was a serious answer. I have to take a serious answer seriously, Reece.
That Kee, there is no part of Kee that is serious. Although I did like the ejectables. The ejectables has got legs. I'll take that.
Reece, what would you like to see at the stadium?
But I can do better.
Ooh.
And I can see this actually potentially happening. So, any of you fans of Jack Harlow?
The singer?
Yes, singer.
Where is this going? Where is this going?
Let me land. I would like to put in a music recording studio in the new stadium. Okay. Cam Lissel, I think, can drop a very fire rap album featuring Josh Allen and Brian Thomas Jr. I want Trevor doing a country album. And I think we have Jaguars, the best of, all recorded at the stadium's music studio. Thoughts?
Don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. I'm not even going to lie. Like, this isn't even me being, playing along for the bit.
And any guest that comes to the games, as a music recording artist, can use the booth. It works hand in hand.
Okay.
It's a great business.
Philadelphia Eagles did a Christmas record. Why?
Yeah. So when does this happen? When are they recording? Are they recording during the? So is it like they come off the field on a Sunday and they've had an idea for a track?
Yeah. Straight to the booth.
Yeah. Forget the press conference after. They're straight in the booth.
Straight to the booth. No press conference. That's the plan.
No, I think you need it before the game, like the hype video, like
the hype up.
Beautiful
and stuff. Yeah, you need that. I think.
Yeah, sorry, coach, I can't warm up. I've had an idea for a track.
Yeah.
Jamie, what are you saying?
Well, I didn't actually think about it that much, to be honest.
Oh, it's your question.
I was thinking more like a bit more serious, a bit more like of an immersive experience. You know, kind of in the concourse area, maybe having like the globe, like you have in Vegas, kind of inside.
Nice.
In the pitch, kind of more like a 4D experience. That's kind of where I was going. You two went a bit elaborative there.
Whoa. My 80-foot statues of Reece and JP would be very immersive, Jamie.
I think that we probably should get some player statues before those two. You earn a spot.
Nitpicking.
Yeah. I've got a serious one. I've got a serious one, but it's playful but serious. Now, obviously, in stadiums around the country, stadiums around the globe, there will be such a thing as a bar. They will have them, of course, in the new stadium as well, somewhere that somebody can get a drink. But why not, as the Jacksonville Jaguars, put such effort into the UK, why not bring the UK over to Jacksonville and have a pub? have a pub inside the stadium. We're not
Does
talking
it
about
have a sticky floor?
it permanently has a sticky floor. The first day it had a sticky floor, and people are really confused, like why? And no one knows why, but there's a sticky floor, and they clean it and they clean it, and they just can't get rid of the sticky floor. Anyway, I feel like it needs to be a pub with an old pub smell, an old pub look. And I don't want it to be any like faux pub. I don't want it to be like faux leather. No, I want it to be go all out, a proper Jacksonville Jaguars pub. Thoughts,
And
Jamie?
Yeah, I like that idea. Selling British ale,
That's it.
selling good drinks. Yeah, sticky floor, very well worn dartboard, but no one's
That's
ever
it.
playing it. So
Yeah. How has it become so warm?
A quiz, one of those quiz machines that you put £2 in, and you're like, "No, I'm going to win this time." You never win. One of those.
An old lady permanently dancing in the corner. There's no music.
No music.
Well, I don't know what pubs you go to, Kee, to be fair, but fair enough. Reece, would you attend this pub?
Oh, definitely. I like the idea of relocating one bar staff member from Wigan, another from Rotherham,
Yes.
and then get one from Carlisle. And just make them mad.
Are they Jags fans? Did we tell them what's happening or not?
Oh, yeah. No, they're aware. They're not aware. This is new.
So just to really quickly go over it, the new Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium, as far as I'm aware, is going to have an authentic British pub. It's going to have an immersive experience, which is probably actually the best idea of the lot, let's be honest. Kee's 80-foot... We're not even going to discuss Kee's 80-foot statues. And I've forgotten Reece's idea already.
Music recording.
Oh, okay, it's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. Jamie,
that better than the ball pit? I don't get that.
I think the music studio is going to be used more than a ball pit. Jamie, you've got final say. If you had to choose between the ball pit or the music studio, which one would you choose?
I think practically, I think it'll have to be the music studio, because I do not want to go into a ball pit where beer's been spilt into that drink.
We can't have the pub and the ball pit.
No.
If you don't want that, Jamie, never go to Milton Keynes. That's what I'm saying.
That's where I'm from.
That's down the road from me.
That's where I'm from as well.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, I am honoured that you've gone with the music studio, and I'd love to give you a placement there. If you do want to record anything, you let me know. But
I'll relocate, absolutely, to Jacksonville. Yeah, not a problem.
Jamie, you're a man of taste, as we all know, and we've got to speak to you about this before, but what got you into the Jags? You've got a bit of a fascinating story, I feel like.
Okay. So it starts off quite bland, I suppose, actually. Come from a rugby background, always played rugby kind of throughout my kind of childhood and stuff. And really wanted to try something new. And that was back in probably 2012, 2013, when Jags actually ironically started coming over to the UK. I wanted to get into the sport of watching American football. I wanted to play something as well. And I originally started playing flag American football for a local team, because I didn't have a clue about any of the rules or anything. I didn't attend the first Jags London game. I actually went the following year for the Cowboys game. Was my kind of first kind of event I went to, first Jags event I went to. And I watched Jags get hammered. Mm-hmm. However, I liked the colour teal. I liked the logo, and I hated Dallas Cowboys fans, if I'm totally honest. And kind of it all kind of then grew and stemmed from there. Obviously, the Jags started coming over to the UK a hell of a lot more. I then started to play kitted American football as I started to grow and develop know the rules a lot better. And yeah, Jags just kind of became my team that I kind of went a bit crazy for and a bit obsessed with, if I'm totally honest. I've kind of attended every kind of Jags kind of event they've kind of done over here, from coaching clinics to player academies, flag tournaments. I've kind of done a bit of everything, really. And yeah, just kind of come a bit obsessed with it all. And yeah, most recently just been seeing you guys every year in London when you're recorded in queues for player signings and stuff.
Well, you say obsessed. I would probably say more than obsessed. We've done on the show a few quizzes with you, and you've only ever got one question wrong. And just to set the context as well, some of these questions are ridiculous, i.e. the game in 2015, the field goal in the second quarter, what yard was that taken from? And you'll go, 38. And no, and it's
Yeah.
usually right. So you've
Yeah.
only ever got one wrong.
I'm
But
still gutted about that one wrong.
Yeah.
And that's a Trevor Lawrence stat, so that one killed
it
me.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
But Jamie, you make lots of content as well. You do loads of Jags related content and activities. So talk us through some of those because I don't even think I'm aware of everything you do.
Yeah, so again, with my obsession, like I said, following the Jags, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, it was actually during lockdown, trying to find other things to do to kind of keep myself busy. Decided to set up a fan page for Jags UK fans, a slightly less formal fan page compared to obviously Jaguars UK. I set up Jags across the pond, set up a little community of what I thought was only going to be maybe 20 odd kind of fans who have kind of met over the years to kind of have get togethers, do giveaways, and just buying and selling kind of merchandise and memorabilia. And then I then set up things like doing podcasts as well. And I've done a couple of write ups for a couple of people on X or Twitter at the time. And yeah, just kind of followed the team, kind of done a lot of content for all of that, and kind of just picked it all up. Had no prior experience of any sort of communications or kind of media kind of stuff. Just kind of wanted to kind of do something new and something that I really enjoyed. Obviously, which was the Jacksonville Jaguars. So just started writing up about games and yeah, just exploring different things to do, and made quite a nice little community of British Jags fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it says a lot about you because you are an extremely kind person, and everyone in that community is brilliant as well. So it says a lot about you. Jamie, I've got some news for you.
Yeah.
Shall we tell him, Kee and Jay? What do you
I
think?
we should. I think he deserves
You
it.
think?
Probably should. Yeah.
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 Jamie, how would you feel if I said to you that you are the Jaguars International Fan
No,
of the Year for 2025?
no,
Go on.
no.
Go on.
Wow.
Well earned, mate.
Well
Fully
earned.
deserved, bro. Honestly.
Yes, you are.
No way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was not expecting to hear that. No. This is a wind up. This is just a fun
No, no, no,
podcast,
no.
isn't it?
Nope.
No.
No, Jamie,
No.
wait for it. Wait for it. It's not just that. Listen to this.
Your
This is
prize,
unreal.
Jamie, is a trip to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You and a +1 are on the way there. You've got the red carpet treatment. You've got a Q&A with the NFL commissioner. So much more as well. And you
Wow.
deserve it, Jamie. You deserve it. How do you feel?
Oh, don't even know what to say. Like, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. No, I was definitely not expecting to hear that on a on a day after work today. Like, wow, no way.
Jamie, you got to give me a
phenomenal.
Duval. Come
Thank
on. You got to give me a Duval for that.
What Duval? Because now I'm a bit confused. Do we do a Coach Cohen Duval? Do we do the original Duval?
I want the original.
Original, please, mate.
Duval!
Jamie, mate, you got to tell us. You got to tell us who you're going to be taking.
I don't know.
You
Because
don't know.
this is a
I'm
tough
free.
one,
Jamie,
because
I'm free.
the wife is going to kill me because it won't probably be her that would come. But the main reason for that is we do have a baby at home. Like, we've had a newborn baby in the last kind of few months.
Congratulations.
So yeah, that's the reason why she probably won't be coming. It's probably going to be a Jags fan from from my group, to be honest. So probably put some feelers out there, see who's free.
Put some feelers out there.
Some feelers.
As if people were like, nah, don't fancy
Yeah.
that one. Don't fancy
Yeah.
that one.
Wow, no,
Jamie, congrats, man. I love this for you, bro.
I'm over the moon. Wow.
What does it
Thank
mean
you
to you,
guys so
Jamie?
It means so much just to be recognised, you know, for something that I've been doing that I'm just doing for fun. Like, I'm doing it for my own kind of pleasure, like my own bit of fun, and to be kind of recognised from Jaguars and Jags UK and having a title of just being an international fan of the year is just phenomenal. Something I never ever wanted or would have never have imagined would would happen. So I'm ecstatic, honestly, really, really, really am.
Well, you deserve it, mate. And it's as you say, it's the recognition. As much as the trip out to Green Bay for the draft will be insane, I mean that recognition. That's the thing that I think will hit you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'll send you my passport details for the flight out. No worries, man.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah. You deserve it, man. And honestly, is there a way that you're going to celebrate tonight? Is there something you're going to do? And what does it mean by putting feelers out?
I don't know. I've got to have a hard thought on kind of who I'd want to come with me, who would be up for the draft experience, because I think that's a bit of a good time, a good 3 days at the draft. So got try and tune in and watch that every year. So it'd be amazing to be there. So
Jamie, what would you ask the commissioner in a Q&A?
When's the Super Bowl coming to Jacksonville? It's probably a standard one.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
What
would he put in the new Jags stadium? Ball pit.
Yeah. Would he prefer a ball pit or would he prefer a music? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I tell you what, Jamie, if you were to genuinely ask Roger Goodell what he'd rather have in a stadium, a ball pit or a music studio, then that would be, I mean, it'd be a waste of a question, I'm not going to lie, but it'd be amazing. It would be amazing.
Gotta leave my stamp on something, haven't I?
Yeah.
That's them boring questions every day.
Jamie, what player or position do you want us to take?
Great question.
Because you're essentially our scout now.
Jamie's going to go offensive line, surely.
It's going to be defensive line. Yeah, absolutely is. Yeah. Travis Hunter would be nice. I do think we definitely pick up the defensive side of the ball. I think that's kind of our biggest priority to start off with, and that's going to be spent on the defensive tackle. And
usually you'd be sitting on the sofa watching it, thinking, I wonder who the Jags are going to take. But
shattered as well.
And now you'll be wrapped up at Green Bay. You'll be at the draft, and I mean this is that's a bucket list thing, mate. So congratulations to you. Yeah. You really deserve it, Jamie. Can we have another round of applause for Jamie, please? I mean, it doesn't quite sound great when there's just three of us clapping, to be fair, but
we'll put it in post. In post.
Yeah. The whole of the Jags UK fan base will be, clapping for you and supporting 100%. You, Jamie, and we'll be watching it over here in the UK and looking out for you on the telly.
It's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.
And thank you for coming on the podcast,
Legend.
Man. Thank you.
It's unbelievable news, isn't it, Kee? Unbelievable news.
So lovely. And honestly, I know we said it when we were talking to him, but there is no one more deserving than Jamie. The part that he plays in the Jags UK community cannot be overstated. He is what do you call the most important part of a bridge? The keystone. He's like the keystone of the Jags UK community, and no one deserves it more than him, man. Yeah.
And it's worth going on to our YouTube channel as well to watch his reaction, and our socials to watch his reaction as well, because this is the problem with podcasts, Kee.
Yes.
Is when someone gets amazing news, half the time, if not more than half the time, they're literally lost for words, which in an audio medium, it's not particularly helpful.
Unless you're James Gladstone, your emotions don't come across in your voice, they come across in your face, right?
That's true.
Honestly, yeah. So Jamie might not sound like he was emotional, but yeah, he definitely was, yeah.
Yeah, no, you need to go and check that on the socials, because he is just shocked, lost for words. Yeah. And, as much as anything else, go over to socials just to see his background. Like, it's just incredible, all of the Jags gear that he has and that he's collected. And that's why he deserves it. He deserves it for being so dedicated.
Nice that Reece joined us for that as well, because Reece and Jamie have a nice relationship. I thought that was lovely.
Yeah. I mean, Reece, you could tell, is so on board with it and so excited for him as well. I mean, we all are. It's so funny, isn't it? Because when you're talking and we know what's coming up, and it's almost like a little secret we've all got.
Yeah.
And it's just exciting. It was just, amazing. And he really deserves it as well. So congratulations to Jamie. He's going off to the 2025 NFL draft.
What a prize.
I just don't think there's many better prizes. I mean, that's just an unbelievable prize. So congratulations.
And with a new GM and new head coach as well to be steering us. That's excellent, man. What a prize.
Speaking of our social channels, Jags YouTube channel, the Jacksonville Jaguars UK and Ireland YouTube channel. What is on it, Kee?
Do you know what? There's so much stuff. Interestingly, there was a really lovely comment a few weeks back that someone said how interesting they find the content on the Jags UK YouTube channel, which is really lovely. And a couple of the videos that are doing well at the moment is one where we go into the treatment rooms and we see like where the players would get their physio and their massage and stuff, and you get to see all that stuff, which you don't normally get to see that stuff. So that's quite good access. And then we've got like access to the weights room and the strength and conditioning coach talking about like who lifts the most and that sort of thing. So those are a couple of the videos that are doing well. And then in the off season, we're going to be posting some of the stuff that wasn't in the show, that didn't make it into the Sky show. So there's going to be loads of unseen stuff and then some other exciting stuff that I'm actually not going to talk about, but I will mention one name, which is Brian Thomas Jr.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's all
is that the one and only Brian Thomas Jr. reference in this show?
Yeah, I was like, they asked me to make a video, and I was like, well, Brian Thomas Jr.
We'll just do that.
What else are you gonna do? Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Jags wide receivers, congratulations to Louis Rees-Zammit, Wales' own Louis Rees-Zammit, the former Welsh Rugby star, of course, signed on for another season with the Jags. Came in last season, came in actually really quite late on.
Yeah, right.
In pre-season, it really was just before the season started. If you remember, he signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, came to the Jaguars, and changed positions there as well. So he moved from running back to wide receiver. So it has really been, you know, whirlwind over the last few months, and this will be his first proper off-season with the Jacksonville Jaguars, you know, playing the position that he wants to play, wide receiver. So I caught up with him to talk about, well, his new challenges in Jacksonville. All right, welcome Louis Rees-Zammit to TealTalk. Now, the Jaguars wide receiver who, it's been announced, is staying in Jacksonville. How do you feel, mate?
Oh, I'm over the moon. Very grateful for this opportunity and can't wait to get going.
What was it about the Jaguars that you know that made you want to stay?
I mean, there was a lot of things. One from knowing most of my teammates, knowing the facility, you know, all that kind of stuff. The receiver room's pretty similar, so I can continue to learn from those boys. And it's a very, very exciting new coaching setup. So I think it's one that I can kind of thrive on.
And the beaches and the weather.
That also helps.
You mentioned the new coaching staff there. You know, quite a lot's changed actually over the last few weeks, hasn't it? In Jacksonville, new head coach in Liam Cohen. Wondering if you've spoken, or what is it about him that's really makes you again wants to stay in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I mean, he's very exciting. I think the way he kind of plays his brand of football is very exciting. It's very different in a way. He likes to kind of use his offensive powers differently to other teams, and that's exciting. So it's one that I'm very much looking forward to learning. And I can't wait for OTAs and kind of preseason to start.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering, has it changed where you see yourself in this offense at all?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year it was pretty tough coming in week one and not having a full preseason with the team, obviously changing positions completely as well. So it was a great year to kind of experience all of that and learn from my teammates and especially that receiver room, which is very experienced and stacked. So I'm really excited for this opportunity, and I kind of can't wait to learn this new playbook and kind of get started and start OTAs again, because we've had a fair bit of time off now. I know we still got a lot more, but training started already. So I'm really excited.
You sound, in a good way, you sound impatient.
Yeah, very impatient because I want to get going. This opportunity is one that I'm so excited about, and to get a full preseason here is going to be great. And it's one that's going to allow me to grow and grow faster than kind of trying to learn like mid-season. So getting a full preseason ahead of me is going to be great.
Yeah, that's kind of integral, isn't it? And getting those preseason game snaps.
Yeah, definitely, and just getting reps at receiver, because Obviously last year I was playing running back in preseason, so it was very different. So just getting reps in training and in practice, preseason OTAs, training camp, and then finally, try and continue that into the games.
You'll want to be on the active roster, of course, when the season starts back up again. A long time, you say. It's a long time between now and September. And I mentioned you're feeling impatient. What are you specifically focusing on between now and then?
Just about my releases, the route tree, my routes, just making them crisper. My short, sharp, explosive movements. All the kind of stuff that you really need as a receiver, just to feel sharp again, really. Before heading into OTAs and kind of that's the time to learn the playbook and use the mental side of the game more than the physical. So, now the training now is more about, feeling sharp, feeling ready for my brain to start learning a new playbook and all of that kind of stuff.
And last time I saw you in October, we had a conversation about how you could tell the difference between you even like 6 or 8 weeks earlier, and how much you've grown. Well, whole season, when you look back on where you were in September, let's say September, because, when you joined the Jags, what do you see? What difference do you see? And does that give you, does it make you feel excited for what's ahead?
Yeah, definitely. When I first walked in that door, I was just so happy to be able to play receiver and just get reps at it. I mean, my game's come so far from then, and that's evident in the footage and stuff like that. So just being able to work with my receiver group, Chad, who was the receiver coach, just being able to work on all the routes, getting in and out of breaks, the releases, which is one of the most important things as a receiver. So, all of that kind of stuff was unbelievable to see me grow, throughout a whole season. So, I'm kind of really looking forward to being able to continue that.
And look, I know you were at the Super Bowl in New Orleans as well a few weeks ago, which I'm sure was an amazing experience for you. Was there like a pinch me moment at all?
Yeah, I mean, it was my first Super Bowl, so I've always kind of dreamed of going to a Super Bowl and being able to watch one. So it was, I can't really explain the feeling. It was unbelievable. The next step is being a player at one. So I'm going to try and do everything I can to kind of make this roster this year and then see what happens.
I know that your dad's a big NFL fan, isn't he? Right. So I was wondering, were you texting him when you were there or anything? Was he happy for you, but actually kind of livid at the same time?
Yeah, me and my brother FaceTimed him at halftime. It was like 2 a.m. in the UK, and he was staying up for it. So he was a bit gutted he wasn't there, but I got to FaceTime him and kind of show him around. So.
Now, look, lastly, Louis, I got to mention the fact that you're going to be over in London again with the Jaguars, a game at Wembley Stadium. I know it's a while away, but it's such a pivotal moment on the NFL calendar for the Jacksonville Jaguars. How excited are you for that?
So excited. Obviously, I was lucky enough to go last year, which is an unbelievable kind of 10 days with the team. Hopefully this year I'll be playing in it. Obviously watching it from the sideline last year, but my goal is to kind of play in it this year. So, we all love going to London and spending 10 days there, being able to see the city, being able to see our Jags fans, and playing 2 games there. So, we're all really looking forward to it, and no doubt I am as well.
Louis, congratulations, and hopefully we'll see you later on this year in London.
Yeah, thank you.
Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Louis Rees-Zammit, hoping to make the 53, of course, this season, and having that whole off season with the Jags is going to make the world of difference. Kee, nice man, excited to see where his career with Jacksonville ends up, and let's be honest as well, he'll probably be on the podcast sooner rather than later because he is over here every now and again, isn't
he? Yeah. I mean, I thought that was a really lovely chat, by the way, and I think you're right about having a full off-season leading into it is going to make a big difference as to making that 53. I think you're right about that.
I know that my rugby knowledge isn't as up to scratch as maybe it should be, but I'm pretty confident that a lot of Wales fans would quite like him to change back sports at the moment.
Well, the only thing I know about rugby is they throw the ball in the opposite direction, don't they?
Well done. Well done. Do you know what?
Why are you going that way, guys?
It's funny because, like, usually, obviously, when people with our accents, it was the only thing I know about American football is they throw it forward. But you've just completely subverted that.
Flipped it on its head, mate. I've always wanted to be different.
Kee, you went to the Jags Foundation launch in North London last week, didn't you? What was that like?
Yeah, not quite New Orleans. It was. Do you know what? It was excellent. I love what the Jags do, grassroots stuff. I've been to a lot of Jag Tag stuff, and I was fortunate enough to be at the launch of the Union Jags Foundation in 2023. So I've seen it develop, and this was the first event day that they did, and there was around 70 kids there, I'm going to say, and they have a nice full day of doing various sports, inside, outside, swimming, lunch. I mean, it was super fun. If I was a kid, I'd have wanted to do it, but I could talk about it for a long time, but Maria talks about it much better than me, so let's hear what Maria had to say about it. Maria, we are in a leisure centre in Willesden Green. Can you tell me why are we in a leisure centre in Willesden Green?
Yes, so we're delivering our first ever Union Jags Foundation Day event. This is a day provided by the Union Jags Foundation where kids can come and have a full day of activity. They did some swimming this morning. They're going to have some lunch, which is provided through the foundation. And then we'll end the afternoon with Jag Tag. So they get a little bit of everything. They learn about the Jaguars. We'll do a little coloring. We'll speak to the kids and just give them a well-rounded day.
For anyone who doesn't know what Jag Tag is, tell us what that is.
So Jag Tag is our version of flag football. It was started to remove any kind of barrier to playing American football. So you really don't need a flag. You just need a green space and a ball. And we deliver it across the country. In fact, last year we hit over 100,000 kids playing Jag Tag in the United Kingdom.
Amazing. Fantastic. Union Jags Foundation, give us a bit of a broad overview as to what the idea is, what kind of things have been going on, and what we can look forward to.
Sure. So the Union Jags Foundation was officially launched in 2023, and we established foundation to work with government to receive grant funding to do events like today, to expand our Jag Tag outreach and to make sure that kids are getting opportunities in underserved communities regardless of their abilities, regardless of their race. And it's really just something we wanted to do just to really establish ourselves as the UK's team.
And I mean, there's some names involved with the foundation, because I was there for the launch day and we had the commissioner.
You did, yes. So the commissioner was there. Jason Bell is an ambassador for us, Phoebe Schechter, Neil Reynolds. So a lot of the football faces in the UK support our foundation, and we're really appreciative of all their efforts and helping us get the message out.
Fantastic. And Jags UK as a whole, what can we look forward to as fans? What can we look forward to, and what are you looking forward to this season?
So we are looking forward to the podcast coming back. We're looking forward to kind of a youth-focused strategy, really honing in on those 100,000 kids that are playing Jag Tag, trying to bring out the personalities of our players. We're looking forward to being back at Wembley in the fall, and we're looking forward to, so before Wembley, we're looking forward to draft, which we'll do probably an event like this, but on a bigger scale in London.
Fantastic. Can I ask you, if you were GM, who are we drafting?
Oh gosh, that is a question way above my pay grade.
Let's go to Wembley. So we don't know who we're playing. We don't know too many details, but how are we feeling about being back at Wembley again?
Oh, very excited. Wembley is our home away from home. We're excited to hopefully break records. We seem to be doing that every year, so thank you to the fans for coming out. But yeah, we're very excited. We hope to know our schedule in the end of April, so right after draft, who we're playing, when we're playing, and get that information out to our fans.
Fantastic. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you.
Always love hearing from Maria. Do you know what was my favourite bit of the day, Jay? Was Maria was hanging out with some of the kids and she was showing them photos of Trevor Lawrence, and their reaction to his hair was fascinating. One of them saying something like, "Why is he 50 years old?"
50?
Yeah, honestly.
50 years old?
These kids were like 8, so I think they thought I was 60 years old as well. So,
well, that's more realistic than Trevor Lawrence being 50 years old.
Wrap it up.
Whose baby face and long hair makes him permanently 23. So, yeah.
Excellent day nonetheless. And we should say, to learn more about the Union Jags Foundation, all the info is on jaguars.co.uk. Go there to check it out.
I feel like I feel fairly exhausted, to be honest with you, Kee, because that really was a bumper episode. Yeah, fun episode as well. This is what happens though when a lot happens in an organisation. A lot happens with the Jags.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to talk about all of this stuff. And the thing is, and let's be honest, Kee, is that it's the end of February now. The next 2 months are going to be
big ones.
They're going to be just as bumper.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have free agency in March.
Yeah.
We're going to have the draft in April as well.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
Big times, man. Big times. Exciting podcasts coming up.
Yeah. Someone said to me recently, actually, they said to me, oh, how do you, keep enthusiastic or, stay excited about the NFL when it's the off season?
It doesn't stop.
This is why.
It doesn't stop.
This is why. There's a lot that goes on.
More happened in February than in January.
No, it's definitely true. Well, look, we're going to be back at the end of March, aren't we, Kee?
Yeah.
Free agency news. Who knows what else in the Jags world as well. It could be so much more. Hopefully news as well of a new recording studio, an English-themed pub in a new stadium. I'm hopeful. Maybe that's what they should have been asking on the press conference.
Yeah, right.
That's what they should have been asking. So look forward to it. Kee?
Yeah, me too.
I'll see you then. Actually, I'll probably speak to you before then. Maybe it'll be a month of just no communication until then.
All right, mate.
This has been a Shooting Sharp production for Jacksonville Jaguars in the UK, in Ireland, in partnership with Gallagher. Go subscribe on your podcast. Go subscribe on YouTube. We will be back at the end of March.
Text me in a minute, Jay.
Yeah, I'll probably speak to you in a bit, yeah.